George Clooney spent most of his life believing marriage wasn't for him. Hollywood saw him as the charming bachelor who would never settle. People joked that he was forever single by choice, but everything changed the day he met Amal. She wasn't an actress or a model from the industry he lived in. She was a human rights lawyer, brilliant, confident, the kind of woman who didn't care about fame or Hollywood applause. She cared about people, about justice, about making the world less cruel. And that caught George Clooney's attention right away. He wasn't looking for love. He wasn't planning to propose to anyone. But real love doesn't wait for permission. It just walks in and changes everything. George met Amal in 2013 when a friend brought her over to his home in Lake Como. He still remembers that night. The jokes, the long conversations, her smile. Something felt different. She wasn't impressed by his celebrity status. She didn't treat him like a movie star. She treated him like a person. Soon, they started talking more. Emails turned into phone calls turned into flights across the world just to see each other. George's friends noticed something new in him. He wasn't just happy. He was peaceful. In 2014, at the age of 53, George Clooney married Amal. Paparazzi chased every moment of their wedding in Venice, but behind all the spotlight was a man who finally let his guard down. He didn't pick marriage as a story for magazines. He picked it because it finally made sense. Now he says growing older made love even better. Because with age, priorities change. Ego becomes smaller. Gratitude becomes bigger. You stop running after things that don't matter. You learn what real partnership means. George explained that relationships need maturity. When he was younger, he was fully focused on his career. Movies, fame, travel, pressure, chaos. There wasn't much space for stability. He admits he wasn't always ready to listen or compromise. But aging is like a soft teacher. It slows you down. It teaches you how to be patient, how to support someone instead of just trying to be the center of the world. With Amal, George found the version of himself he never saw before. Someone more kind, more thoughtful, more grounded. Amal brought purpose into his life that was bigger than Hollywood. She inspired him to become more aware, more active in causes that help people. George has said many times that he admires her strength. He loves how passionate she is about her work and the way she fights for justice. He says watching her argue in court is more exciting than any movie premiere. Their home is full of laughter now. In 2017, they became parents to twins, Alexander and Ella. George never imagined he would be changing diapers in his late 50s, but he smiles while talking about it. He loves being a dad. He jokes about staying awake with crying babies at 3 a.m., but there is a softness in his eyes when he talks about his children. A man who once avoided commitment now calls his family his greatest success. George says aging helped him realize that love isn't something to fear. It's something to learn, something to grow into. When he looks in the mirror now, he sees wrinkles, gray hair, slower mornings. But he doesn't complain. He feels lucky, because he has someone by his side who sees beyond all of that. He said something very honest recently. We laugh more now. We understand each other better. We don't waste time on fights that don't matter. That is the beauty of a mature relationship. You stop chasing perfection. You accept imperfections and turn them into connection. He talks about Amal with respect in every interview. He doesn't brag about his love. He honors it. He doesn't treat marriage like a trophy. He treats it like a daily choice to make each other's lives better. George is grateful that he didn't rush into marriage earlier in life. He says if he had married at a younger age, he might not have been able to give what a real partnership requires. Age gave him wisdom. It gave him clarity. It helped him understand that love deepens when both people grow together and lift each other up. He often says Amal changed his entire belief system. He went from, I will never get married, to I can't imagine life without her. He says she makes him feel seen and appreciated, not for the work he does, but for who he is. As for aging, he embraces it. He calls it a privilege. Many people don't get to live long enough to grow older, to experience love with the right person, to raise a family, to look back and smile at the life they built. George knows that time is fragile. Every year counts more when you feel lucky to be alive. He jokes about his bad back and slower runs, but he always adds that the trade is worth it, because with age comes real love, strong love, love that isn't shaken by a bad day or a small disagreement. George and Amal support each other's dreams. She cheers for his films. He supports her activism. They share responsibilities. They protect their privacy. And they don't pretend to have a perfect marriage. They just focus on kindness. That seems to be George Clooney's greatest lesson. Love grows when you grow. Marriage works when both people show up every day with patience, respect, and humor. Aging doesn't steal happiness. It reveals the happiness that was always meant to be. So when George Clooney talks about marriage getting better with age, he isn't romanticizing life. He's being honest. He knows what pain looks like. He knows how fast success can come and go. He knows fame is temporary, but a partner like Amal, a family to wake up to, laughter in the kitchen, stories shared at the dinner table, someone holding your hand when fear visits at night. That is real. That is forever. George Clooney may have been late to the love story that many expected from him, but he arrived exactly when he was ready, and now he is cherishing every moment he gets with the woman who turned his greatest never into his greatest forever.